Hey there internets, I'm Michael and this is a review of Takenoko by Bombyx and Matagot. So what is the game? Well, the game is all about this panda that's been given to the Japanese emperor. It's living in his gardens, much to his gardener's displeasure, and you need to do the most you can to please the emperor. Whoever does this wins the game. This is all represented with objectives that you're trying to complete, and you'll start the game with one of each type. There are these land ones where you've got to form patterns of land. There's the gardener ones where you have to grow certain patterns of bamboo. And then there is the panda ones where you have to eat certain combinations of bamboo. Because the bamboo comes in 3 different varieties. You've got the green, that's the most common, then yellow, and then pink. The way the game works is that on your turn you will roll the dice, which is this one here, and this will dictate the weather conditions. So there are 5 different weather conditions plus a side that means you get to pick. These can give you extra actions, allow you to do the same action twice where normally you have to choose 2 different actions, or give you little special tokens, move the panda, lots of different things, but I won't go into those in too much detail. Then on your turn you place your action selection tokens, and you have 2 of these. You'll place these first and then perform your actions. The order you place them and perform your actions is not dictated, so you can place them in whichever order you want and then perform the actions in a different order. The actions that you can do are take land, so you draw 3 of these land tiles and then pick one to place. So these would then help you complete the land objectives. Also, you need to have the land out to be able to grow bamboo, but first you need to irrigate the land. Any land that's next to the starting water tile will automatically be irrigated, but otherwise you'll need to use actions to take water in order to irrigate your tiles. When a tile is irrigated, it will grow bamboo. The other way it can grow bamboo is you can use your action to move the gardener to it. When the gardener goes onto a coloured tile, it will grow that colour bamboo there. The next choice of action you have is to move the panda, and this is how you eat bamboo. Whenever you move the panda onto a tile that has bamboo on it, it will then eat one of these lovely coloured pieces of bamboo, and that will go into your belly to enable you to complete the panda objectives. The final action you can do is to take new objective cards, but you can only ever have 5 in hand at a time, so you will need to be completing these as you go along, but you can complete any number of objectives in a single turn. So that's roughly how you play the game. What do I think? Well, let's start with the artwork, and the box is perfect for representing the artwork in this game. There is one quick, simple way to describe this: cute. The artwork in this is cute. It is, everything about it is cute. You know, you've got the player boards, the comic that comes as the start of the rules explaining the story is cute. It is all cute, but it's more than just cute, it's good. Things such as all of these terrain tiles here, these land tiles, every single one is different, even if it's the same type of land. So here we've got 2 just normal plain green lands, different images. That's a really nice touch. So there is a lot of detail gone into this artwork beyond just the cutesiness of it, which is fantastic, and it does spread throughout the whole game. The only place where you don't get as much of a feel of it is on the objective cards, but you still have little cartoony characters on the gardener and panda ones, and on the land they are a bit dull, but they're clear and easy to read and understand, which is very important. And that's another good thing they've done with the artwork on this. This player board tells you everything you need to know to play. When you roll the dice, it tells you what all the different dice options are, it tells you what all your different action options are, and then it has spaces for you to store anything that you're collecting. So really well laid out, very clear, easy to understand. What about the components then? Well, as I said, player boards, really good with regards to the graphical layout. They're also quite good cardboard. Okay, they're a little flimsy, but they're just right for my taste. They were a bit thinner, they'd be too thin, a bit thicker, and it'd be, you don't really need them that heavy weight. The rule book is nice and easy to understand, very well laid out, with lots of pictures, nice and colourful, but it is a bit of an awkward size. It's the only shame there. The insert, which isn't something I talk about a lot, is really good in this game. And you can see it's holding these lovely wooden bamboo pieces that slot together. And yeah, the only issue I have with these is I don't like pink. So the fact that they've gone for a pink colour kind of puts me off. But these are fantastic components. Okay, the little wooden water bits, not that great, but they're nice. You've got the absolute cute panda and the gardener, these pre-painted miniatures that are actually surprisingly well painted for pre-painted miniatures. The land tiles are good quality with no kind of wear after years of play. And then of course you have the selection tokens, each one with a different image on, and really just nice tactile part of the game. And that's what all the components come down to. It's just this nice tactile experience. Even the cards are good quality card. You've got this nice linen finish. So yeah, component wise, absolutely fantastic. The only complaint I have is with the pink bamboo. Then what about gameplay? Well, cute described the art, fantastic described the components, and I guess friendly is what describes the gameplay in this. You see, there's nothing really mean about this. There's no nasty take that elements. There's no direct interaction between the players. But there is interaction going on with regards to where you're moving things, where you're placing land, the fact that you have this shared central thing, the shared panda and gardener being moved means, you moved him, I needed him to be there. There is interaction going on, but it tends to be very accidental in getting in the way of people because you don't really know too much what they're doing. The biggest interaction in this game really comes down to the objectives. Because a certain number of objectives will end the game, you'll be watching to see how close the game is to ending based on what objectives people have completed so far. And that's the main kind of interaction that will go on. Anything else, they don't really know they have no idea what's in your hands, so they don't know what you're working towards. Okay, your actions can give a little hint. If you keep growing on a certain space, they might keep eating it to stop you. But that won't necessarily help them win, so it tends not to play that way. What do I actually think about the way it plays? What's good about this? I really enjoy the weather aspect. It's a way of adding an element of randomness to people's turns, which doesn't feel terribly overpowered. Okay, some of these results feel less useful than others, like often the cloud result. If there's not a token you want to take or need to take, can feel very, well, that's a waste. But for the most part, they balance out quite nicely. It can be very useful to be able to do the same action twice, for example, or to have an extra action. And the rain and the lightning both just kind of give you an extra action, but an extra action that's fixed. That's kind of the difference. So I think those balance out really nicely. They're a nice random element to the game. Of course, there's quite a lot of randomness in this game because you've also got random element with regards to the objective draws. And that's kind of where this starts to go a bit too random for me, because you can very much just be drawing the wrong objectives. You can be sat there drawing one and going, okay, that's going to be a lot of work to achieve. And the other people you're playing with are drawing ones and going, I can complete that. I can complete that. And okay, certain objectives are more likely to have that. The land objectives, for example, if there's a lot of land tiles already out, you're more likely to have a formation there, but not guaranteed. And so, yeah, that is quite a random element to this game. But there are ways to mitigate it. So, for starters, draw objectives early so that you've got them there ready and you can be building up towards them is a good way to mitigate that luck. But at the end of the day, yes, there is a lot of luck in this. There's also luck when it comes to drawing the land tiles, though that seems to not be so much of an issue. It just might take you a few tries of drawing before you get the colour you want, and then the place where you wanted to put it might be filled. But it does work. This game is not a heavy game, that's the thing. It is a lot of luck in there, but there is strategy. I would say there's more luck than there is strategy. There's strategy with regards to what objectives you choose to go after, and you have to kind of balance that with what other players are doing. So if you can see someone's doing a lot of growing, for example, it might make sense to go for panda objectives because there'll be a lot of bamboo available for you to eat if they keep growing it. So there is strategy in regards to that as well. There's also strategy of when you choose to complete objectives. So yeah, I think this is very much a light game. This is what I would class as a gateway game. Part of that is the theme. Okay, it's cute, that's going to turn a lot of people off, but it'll also get a lot of people engaged, especially younger players. And this plays from 8 plus, and also like women and families will particularly enjoy this. And it has that light gateway gameplay as well. Okay, if you were to sit down on your own and try and learn this, not that easy. But if you have someone to teach you and explain, right, and now you do this, and now you do that, very easy to learn. So that's the thing. There isn't a huge amount of complexity to this game, but it is enjoyable. Seeing what happens, just moving the gorgeous pieces and stacking the bamboo up is fun. And that's the thing, this is a tactile experience game. It is fun to do that, to build it up, to see what you create. And each game, the garden you have created is different. The bamboo that's left, the bamboo that's gone, the land that's been placed and where it's been placed. And it's kind of nice to just see the garden that you've made. So what's left to talk about? Oh yes, of course. Can two play that game? Two can play that game. In fact, it works fantastically well as a two-player. It plays 2 to 4, and it does scale very well for those numbers. The way they handle the scaling is they change how many objectives you need to complete in order to end the game. So you will find that individual scoring is higher in the low-playing games, but for the most part you get the same experience. I would say it probably actually plays best at the 4-player or with more players, because at 2 players where you're controlling shared resources can be a bit tug of war-y, just, well, I want it over here, you want it over there, just tugging back and forth. But that still works and is still fun, but it's more fun and better if you have a first person also tugging it somewhere else, and it creates a much more interesting dynamic to the game and just more to be aware of with regards to what other people are doing. And yeah, so it is better with 4 people, but a fantastic fun game as 2-player. And for me personally, it's one that is actually my wife's game. It's one of those themes and lighter games that she loves, and so it means that it's a game that I can play often. So it's the one I would definitely recommend for couples, especially, you know, if you want that just kind of light experience of a game. It is fun, it is friendly, but you can't take it too seriously. Okay, I do hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel as well as subscribing to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.